Welcome back, guys, welcome back. How's everyone doing? Look at this little bike. You've probably seen little bikes like this knocking around. They've become quite popular. I wanted to do a video about this little bike because, you know, there's going to be people asking, are they any good? So today, guys, we're going to find out. So obviously this is an e-bike. It's made by the company called Fiido, and this is their D3 Pro model. But Fiido are making some great bikes at the moment, and they're becoming quite a force to be reckoned with in the UK. So if you come around the back, you see we've got a 250 watt hub motor on the back there, disc brake on the other side, which is good, and we've got a single speed on here as well. So the single speed goes through to this big chain wheel. There's no gears, so it's kind of set at an optimum kind of, you know, gear ratio. There's a little box here. I'm presuming the controller's in there and all the cables and stuff, but the battery's actually in the tube. So the battery is down here. And what we've got in here is a 36 volt, 7.8 amp hour, 280 watt hour battery. So it's not a huge battery by any means, but probably enough for kind of running around the town and stuff. You know, you're not going to want to go miles on this sort of bike anyway, but actually there's probably no reason why you couldn't. So we've got a nice comfortable saddle on here, and you've actually got a really long saddle tube, like seat post. It's ridiculous. Obviously, because the bike is so small, you've got to have it right up, because, you know, it's going to be awkward riding it around like that. Although I do ride it around like that, and it is actually pretty cool. And in the seat post, there's actually a pump as well, which is really neat. So if we get the seat posts are sort of where I need to have it, which probably going to be up here somewhere. So yeah, it does have to go up pretty high to make it rideable with the pedals and everything else. And you might think that looks a bit ridiculous, but it's actually quite comfortable. Now the only thing I'd say about this is, obviously I haven't got any shoes on at the moment, but it becomes a little bit top heavy. And with the power of the motor as well, you can find yourself off the back of it if you're not careful. So I don't know, maybe you could bring the seat forward a bit, or just not have it so high. That is one of the sort of characteristics of bikes like this. So that's just one downside, but obviously the upside is you get a bike you can actually fold up, and you know, this is literally going to fit in pretty much any boot like that. And it's not heavy either, it's really light. Now I've always loved little electric vehicles like this. And e-scooters, of course, but you can't really ride those anymore because of all the legal issues and everything else. So this could actually replace an e-scooter, because it's like the best of both worlds. It's a bike, so you can legally ride it, you know, where you can ride a bike. It's powered, obviously, so it's giving you that assistance, so you can go a lot further than you could just pedaling. And of course, it's small and it folds up, and it's not that much bigger than an e-scooter. So where you would normally ride an e-scooter, just ride one of these. Anyway, enough of the chat. Let's take it for a spin. Right, so first up, it's actually really light. So getting it out of the flat there, really light and easy down the stairs, easy to manoeuvre. So obviously this is pedal assist, so we'll start at in level number 1. We have got a throttle here as well, but I'm not going to use that right now. I'm just going to start pedaling and see what happens. So start pedaling. You can feel the gear, you know, because it is actually like a, you know, quite a low gear. Right, so then the power kicks in. So, you know, it takes a minute to get going, but once it gets going, I'm like literally hardly putting any effort in now. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's like a sort of like a noise on the hub motor, which would say that it's probably a geared motor, I think, on this one. So far, feels pretty nice. It's got plenty of power, quite a lot of torque, feels quite smooth, you know, not ridiculously sort of twitchy as you'd expect for something with small wheels. Now with all these sort of bikes, with these sort of handlebars where you just got one kind of steering tube going up and it's quite long, you do get this kind of like wobbling effect. And you see that as you sort of going over light bumps. So that's another thing to sort of beware of. But what I actually did with one of my other folders is put on like BMX handlebars, and that sort of tightened everything up quite a lot. So that's a good thing to do. There's a video about that. I've also sold that bike now, and I've also given away my helmet to that same guy as well. So hence the reason why I haven't got a helmet on. Brakes are good. Oh, we got a wet road. This thing's got mud guards, so that's another good plus point. Nice built-in mud guards. Pretty quick for a 250 watt. As I say, you could get into a spot bobber with it because it's top heavy. Let's turn it into a mini bike. You obviously can't go too far because that pops out the bottom. About there, I reckon. Drop the handlebars. Slick It's like a mini moto. Whoa. Yeah. That's better.
Do that again. It wasn't very good.
I'd offer you a go if you weren't on the other side of the river. Not bad. It's got quite a lot of power for a little one. That front brake is savage as well. Because of the small wheels, the acceleration actually feels pretty good. I better stop prattling around, otherwise I'm going to end up in there. It's lovely and smooth. So it's probably going to rain now as well. What a cool little bike. It's really come alive now. I've dropped the seat and the handlebars. You can't pedal it, but you know, with throttle, it's actually quite a lot of fun. Definitely don't want to be hitting any potholes though with these small wheels. Right, gradient test up there. I don't think it's going to make it, to be honest, but nah, it's not. No, it's just kind of cut out and gone down 2 battery bars. Typical UK, you think it's going to be sunny and then it just rains all of a sudden. It's going to chuck it down. I need to get into the town and get under cover. Look, it's me and my little bike. Quick! He's spitting. Nearly there. So I did need to go to the bank first, and I can just wheel it in, of course, because it's so small. Better just make sure it looks like I'm not going to rob the place. Well, I just spent about an hour in there because the cash machine weren't working properly. Next stop, I've got to take something back for the girlfriend. And again, I'll just take the little bike in. Right, sorted. Done all my errands, didn't get wet. Time to head back. Right guys, so we're back. And this little bike did everything it needed to do. Got me around town, did the errands, everything I needed to do. And probably more, because obviously being small, I could just wheel it into shops and banks and all sorts. So it's fully charged when I started, now down to 2 bars. So one thing I did notice about this, when it was fully charged, it would hit 28 kilometers per hour. Which is kind of its limited top speed. It felt like it was going to go faster. You know, if it didn't have the limit, it probably actually would do. But when the battery sort of gets to about this level, it was only managing about 24. So it's quite a significant kind of drop as the battery voltage goes down. You know, whether that's going to be an issue for you or not is not a problem. But I was trying to get back quick, and the extra 5 kilometers an hour, I actually did notice. Also, you know, it's slower on the inclines as well. But it's not a problem. All e-bikes are a bit like that, but it was quite more noticeable on something smaller like this. I don't know why. But anyway, it's got plenty of torque, plenty of power. Great little bike. I mean, the fact that you can just shove this in a boot, it's behaving like a scooter, but you've got all the comfortability of an e-bike. And that without suspension as well, it's actually really comfortable. Like, I've had bikes with suspension that's been terrible, and it's been, felt a lot worse than this. I did like actually riding this round with, the handlebars and everything dropped, even though you can't really pedal properly. It just gave it a bit of a novelty factor for me. When you've got the saddle up high, as I was saying, you can easily pivot off the back of it. It'll be fine. Not everybody's an idiot like me. So, it will be fine for sort of riding around. So generally, yeah, I like these little bikes. Fiido's done it really well with this one. I love the fact the battery's in the tube as well, like the down tube. And yeah, just a great bike. Let's go check it out, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.